On Trade Radio mere hours ago, North Melbourne list manager Glenn Luff announced that North Melbourne were taking offers on pick 1, and people on Twitter are freaking out. I'm going to explain not only why they're doing it, but the benefit of North Melbourne trading away pick 1, even if it means giving up Jason Horne-Francis. Let's have a chat. I know. We'll get to the North stuff in a sec. But before that, welcome to Daz Talks Footy, where Daz, that's me, talks footy. So stick around, like, share, subscribe, all of that fun shit that is out of the way early, and we can get on with the content. North Melbourne list manager Glenn Luff announced that it would take a monster trade for North to move on from the number 1 pick, as it should, because it's a number 1 pick. This isn't 2001 when Hawthorn could trade Trent Crode, Luke McFarlane, and I think a couple of other pieces for the number 1 pick back that ended up being Luke Hodge. Now, Jason Horne-Francis being the number 1 pick is going to happen, even though Nick Dacos is technically going to go at 1 because of a bid, and Sam Darcy is going to go at 2. When it comes to eliminating the father-sons, Jason Horne-Francis is the best kid in the country, and I would argue is better than Nick Dacos and Sam Darcy right now. Not only would I argue that, I would really love someone to tell me why I'm wrong, because I love a debate. Jason Horne-Francis has ripped the piss out of some finals against men in the Sandful. And he's going to be really adaptable to AFL level really quickly. Now, he is going to start his career on a half-forward flank, no matter where he goes. I truly believe that. And then he's going to go into the midfield, and he is going to dominate. I believe dominate. And he could become anything. I'm not going to give a player comparison because there are enough draft nuffies that are going to do that for us, such as Matthew Lloyd calling Luke Davies-Uniacke the next Judd. Yes, that really happened. Now, when it comes to North Melbourne, they've gone midfielder-centric in the draft for a few years now, and I think North have clicked on to the fact that they now need to draft for needs and not wants. Do North Melbourne want Jason Horne-Francis? Yes. Does every club in the country want Jason Horne-Francis? Of course. Do North Melbourne need Jason Horne-Francis? I'm not talking about the talent, because everyone needs that talent, but do they need Jason Horne-Francis? There is a real argument that says that they don't, and the argument is because North Melbourne have bigger problems around the ground, specifically in their arcs. Robbie Tarrant has gone to Richmond. North Melbourne were the worst team in the competition defending scores from their defensive 50. They were the second worst team from defending scores from their back half. And they were a top 3 worst side in the competition for defending scores from their forward 50. They can't defend. Robbie Tarrant leaving does not make their defense better. Spoiler alert. Nick Larkey tripled his goal tally this year from 15 to 45. I hope that's right. But he did triple his goals. Actually, yeah, I think it's 15 to 45. But whatever it was, he did triple his goals output. I know that for sure. He has zero help from a tall forward standpoint, and I would argue he doesn't have a lot of help, period, in that forward line. So do North Melbourne want to target a tall forward? Now, trading away from pick 1, you're still going to get a top 10 pick. And the only other tall that's in the top 10 is going to be Josh Gibcus. Now, GWS might end up getting Mac Andrew at pick 2. That's fine. Mac Andrew should not be on North's radar. Not only have they got Goldstein, but they're going to get Callum Coleman-Jones from Richmond. And they've also got Jack Edwards, who they drafted in the mid-season draft. They do not need another ruck forward. They do not need Mac Andrew. They are not going to draft him. Do North Melbourne trade back to get Josh Gibcus? It is a fantastic question. Personally, I believe they should. Him and Ben McKay, apologies. I've obviously got one of them wrong. But him and Ben would combine magnificently in a North Melbourne backline and develop together. Now, they're also going to get more pieces than just that pick, obviously, and that can be used on tools. Do they pip Fremantle and take Jai Amos? Do they pip the second round? Do they take a teens pick and take Jack Williams, the WA tall forward, to help out Nick Larkey? These things should be considered, and it is going to take a monster trade because from that pick 1, they're probably going to need 3 picks back at a minimum. And of those 3 picks, whether 2 of them are this year's, if you look at Richmond 7 and 15, for example, they're going to take a midfielder with one of them. Now, if it is Richmond 7 and 15, that 7 is probably going to be Gibcus, and that 15 is going to be a midfielder, a Matty Johnson, for example. They're going to need more quality. If pick 1 can get them more talent, not only should it be looked at, it will be looked at. Jason Horne-Francis is going to be a star. I want to make that perfectly clear. And the idea of Jason Horne-Francis at Richmond, personally, is terrifying. Richmond are going to be so good next year anyway. Do not believe the fact that they finished 12th is a falsity. It was a fluke. They had injuries. They had all the reasons in the world to bottom out, and they did, and they're going to go back up again. Richmond with Jason Horne-Francis, Shea Bolton, Dustin Martin is a freaky combination. I believe Jack Graham's going to be their next captain, but let's stop talking about Richmond and let's get back to North. North are going to get Callum Coleman-Jones from Richmond. Ruck forward, done. I'm so convinced they're going to target Josh Gibkiss here with what they trade away. Now, the problem that North have got here is they don't know what the other clubs are going to do either. GWS need Gibkiss as well. Phil Davis is getting on. Him and Sam Taylor would combine beautifully, but GWS are also interested in Mac Andrew, and I can't blame them. At pick 3, you've got Gold Coast, at pick 3. Gold Coast probably don't need Josh Gibkiss. Sam Collins is a gun. Charlie Ballard's come on in leaps and bounds. Gold Coast need midfielders. They're probably going to take Finn Callaghan. Pick 4. Adelaide. Adelaide don't need Josh Gibkiss. They've got Nick Murray. They've got Fisher Mackesy. They've got Josh Worrell. Of guys that are coming through, not the ones that are already established in their squad. Even though they've lost Jake Kelly. Hawthorn. Again, a team that can target Josh Gibkiss. Even though Sam Frost is 27, Kyle Hartigan's 29, I think, and Michael Hartley's gone, Hawthorn can go after Gibkiss and then target midfielders with pick 21 and 24 and try to redevelop their squad that way. So where do North go? If it is one of those clubs, like a Gold Coast, it needs to be addressed because North Melbourne getting pick 3 and taking Gibkiss, as well as using midfielders on later picks or even a defender. You look at a Rhett Bazzo, for example. He's number 30 in Cal Toomey's Phantom Draft. He is a centre-half back. Jacob Van Ruin, also a centre-half back. Both those boys are WA boys. Getting more draft capital in the door, especially because they're going to lose pick 20 in order to go to Richmond for Callum Coleman-Jones, it looks like, and potentially a piece back from Richmond, who have got an abundance of top 50 picks. North are setting themselves up for a situation in which not only do they not get Jason Horne-Francis, but a way that they can rejuvenate their squad as quickly as possible. I'm not saying North are going to get rid of pick 1 willy-nilly. It is going to take a trade that they undoubtedly win from. But for those on Twitter that are freaking out about it, don't. Especially North fans. Jason Horne-Francis could be a superstar. Could go down as a legend. But let me ask you this. Would you rather take that superstar, 1, because you're getting rid of pick 20? Or would you rather set yourself up with the best opportunity to get multiple young guns in the door and go again? If you could get a centre-half back, if you could get a centre-half forward, do you take it over a half-forward midfielder, even if he is a superstar? You've already got Ben Cunnington. You've already got Jai Simpkin. You've already got LDU, who did take strides this year. Taron Thomas was a top 10 pick that still needs to develop. North Melbourne have got midfielders, and they need time to show if they're worth it or not, and they drafted Will Phillips at pick 3 last year, which went against most of what everyone thought. North don't need a midfielder. They really don't. Do they want one? If it's one of Jason Horne-Francis's quality, absolutely. But if you're a North Melbourne fan freaking out over this, don't. Seriously, don't. You're going to get a war chest, and you can rejuvenate your squad quicker with 2 or 3 young guns. There is no guarantee Jason Horne-Francis is going to be a star. There's no guarantee that the picks that you get are all going to hit. But the worst thing that North Melbourne can do when it comes to their rebuild is do nothing. And again, they don't have to take a deal that they don't love. They really don't, and they won't. If you get Jason Horne-Francis, buy the badges, buy the jerseys, kid's going to be a gun. If you trade him away, love the kids that you get in, especially if you get Josh Gibkiss. At 195 centimetres, the kid is so athletic and he has great hands. Enjoy the rebuild, North Melbourne. You are not in a bad place right now, and keep an eye out on what happens with that pick. Because if you trade it away, North are only going to do it if they fleece another team. Keep an eye out for Richmond. Keep an eye out for Gold Coast. They're the two that I think are going to fight for it the hardest. Adelaide are going to have a crack because Jason Horne-Francis would be top of their mind considering he's a local boy. But because they're going to give away pick 23 to get Jordan Dawson, it does become a little bit weird on what happens there because they would have to offer their pick, their first round pick this year, next year, and something else. And that something else won't be a player. Or if it is, North Melbourne shouldn't take it. North should be in control of the players they get and develop them from the start. David Noble's been really good in this space in developing the kids, and they're clearly playing under him. Look at the camaraderie they had when they beat Hawthorn in Tassie. North fans, don't stress as much as what you are on Twitter. This is a win-win for North. They get Jason Horne-Francis, or they get a chance to rejuvenate their squad going forward, and there were some really encouraging signs in the back end. Okay? So take a breath, relax, and see what happens. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments if you agree or you disagree. You can think I'm right. You can think I'm a moron. That's fine. Let me know down below. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope your team goes well in the trade period. Talk soon.